We're back. So guys, look at the what is that? I really don't know. Comment down below if you know what that is. Look at that commercial. Oh. What are those wheels? Like guys likes sci-fi movies or like space, then you should see this. Comment down below whether something so are. Oh, I like that clear. These are all pieces and models. NASA.
It has sonar sensors and cameras built into its helmet, and the upper portion of the camera will lower portions of it multiple devices depending on the terrain that it has to work in.
Basically,
To the left and the right of the Argos trainer,
flight operations.
designed for Mars mission.
Ryan. Oh, Orion.
Right behind the American flag, there's a space suit mounted on the outside of the rover. Astronauts can build a pressurized cabin up front and drop through what's called a suit port.
Getting photos of So be right back once we continue. So look at that, a robot that looks like a human. Looks like Halo. That looks like a Spartan helmet. So we're going to go to the other part.
That is not a robot. It's not a person.
I like it all. It's like floating midair. There's another one.
Valkyrie. It's Valkyrie.
Literally. Cool. So be right back once we're here. And go to the other part.
Here help train the astronauts, monitor debris in
Continuing.
orbit, plan and operate
We're going to that's not the place we're
conduct
going.
research on samples
Rocket
from
Park.
Venus, Mars,
Oh, so cool.
asteroids, and comets. The world's largest collection of moon rocks, plus meteorites and comet and asteroid dust, and atoms
All
from the
those
sun,
trees, all
are
those
preserved,
trees.
protected, and distributed here. Apollo 12 astronaut Alan B.
I can remember as I stood on the moon,
Do you have a
what an
name?
amazing, brightly lit, flat place it was to be. Buzz Aldrin said on Apollo 11, it was magnificent desolation. I think maybe those were beautifully chosen words.
Ahead and to your left, that field of rocks and sand is the Planetary Analog Test Site,
So busy.
known as the Rock Yard, where astronauts and engineers test equipment being developed for use on the Moon and Mars. The Rock Yard has been used to test rovers, habitat modules, spacesuits, sample collection tools and techniques, and a variety of remotely controlled mobile robots. As we enter an era of human deep space exploration, NASA scientists are preparing to mine extraterrestrial resources to make building materials, fuel, and oxygen. A near-Earth outpost could be a stepping stone for more distant missions to Mars and beyond. As we turn on to 5th Street, you'll see a building to your left. This is our astronaut quarantine facility. NASA's International Space Station crew members spend about 5 days in post-flight isolation here to start rehabilitating after long-term exposure to zero gravity.
Okay.
There's no way to create total weightlessness on Earth, but NASA has some tricks. About 4 miles away from here, astronauts practice for all spacewalks in a giant water tank called the Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory. Astronaut Mike Massimino trained there for his spacewalks to service and upgrade the Hubble Space Telescope.
It allows us to train in our spacesuits and become essentially weightless underwater. The training up to 6 hours underwater for every hour of a spacewalk gives us valuable insight on what we'll be accomplishing in space.
Red tour has
NASA also
more,
uses a
but
jet
takes
that can
longer.
create short periods of microgravity by flying on a parabolic trajectory.
If you've ever been on a roller coaster, you know that when you go over the top of that first big hill, you get that kind of weightless feeling.
NASA's Jeff Fox.
Well, on a zero-G plane, We get up to 25 seconds away so you can conduct various experiments.
North of here is Ellington Airport, a City of Houston-owned airfield with a commercial, military, and NASA presence. Ellington Airport is the heart of Johnson Space Center's flying operations. NASA's primary function at Ellington is the training of astronauts for spaceflight. The field is also a base for administrative, cargo transport, and high-altitude aircraft. Many types of NASA aircraft have hangars. The Flight Instruction Group stationed at Ellington Airport also manages a T-38 simulator, which is housed in a mission simulator and training facility. It is used to train astronauts in the operation of the T-38 training aircraft. You might have seen those planes flying overhead already today. The T-38s are used by all astronauts to help them become adjusted to communicating quickly and making decisions in a high-speed environment. Like other shuttle commanders and pilots, Captain Chris Ferguson, who commanded NASA's final shuttle mission, STS-135, kept sharp by flying T-38 Talon jet trainers.
If anyone is familiar with the movie Copper, you'll recognize the T-38 is very similar to the Black Russian airplane. The T-38 helps us hone our skills as operators of very complex machines. And unlike a simulator, it is very real, with very real consequences. We practice coordination between crew members, handling many tasks simultaneously, and just keeping up the stick and rudder skills that every pilot needs. That intense operational training will continue to keep crews ready to deal with dynamic situations on the International Space Station or eventually deep space missions.
As you leave Space Center Houston today, you can see a couple of T-38s firsthand at Talon Park near the entrance.
Oh, so the first thing I recorded were T-38s. They're over there. Can you see them? Do you see them? It's that little points. So back.
We're now driving through the Johnson Space Center Memorial Grove. On the right is the Employee Grove, where trees are planted in memory of NASA employees, their families, and other individuals who made noteworthy contributions to America's space program. On the left, you see a circle of trees set back from the road. This modest stand of oaks is the Astronaut Memorial Grove, established for the 10th anniversary of the January 28, 1986 loss of the Space Shuttle Challenger and its crew. Another group of 7 oaks was added after the deaths of the crew of Space Shuttle Columbia on February 1st, 2003. We'll pause here for a moment. 3 days after the loss of Columbia, President George W. Bush came to JSC and spoke these words.
To leave behind Earth and air and gravity is an ancient dream of humanity. For these 7, it was a dream fulfilled. Each of these astronauts had the daring and discipline required of their calling. Each of them knew that great endeavors are inseparable from great risks, and each of them accepted those risks willingly, even joyfully, in the cause of discovery. America's space program will go on. This cause of exploration and discovery is not an option we choose. It is a desire written in the human heart. We are that part of creation which seeks to understand all creation. We find the best among us, send them forth into unmapped darkness, and pray they will return. They go in peace for all mankind, and all mankind is in their debt.
Wow, that's deep.
Spaceflight is neither safe nor easy. And while we grieve at the death of an astronaut, that doesn't stop us from exploring space. For many of us, that loss strengthens our resolve and makes our work here ever more important. As we move into the future, we will remember the crews of Columbia, Challenger, and Apollo 1, and all the talented men and women who dedicated their lives to America's space program.
Curiosity is the essence of human existence.
Look at that spaceship.
Apollo astronaut Gene Cernan, the last man to walk on the moon.
All Apollo did was crack the door open for future generations. Now is the time to walk through and get the answers to those questions about who we are, where we are, and are we here alone? Was there life on Mars? What does the future hold for us all? I don't know what's way, way out there, but someday, someone will come back and tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're approaching the second stop on our tour, which is Rocket Park. This is a self-guided tour. You may stay here as long as you like. There will be trams coming by about every 15 or 20 minutes. You can hop on any of those to take you back to Space Center Houston. And when the tram comes to a full stop in front of the gate, we'll be exiting on the left-hand side of the tram and only on the left-hand side. And we hope that you'll enjoy your stay here at Rocket Park.
There's a jump. Somebody jumped.
If you've already been to this stop or you just do not wish to make this stop, just stay seated on the tram and we'll be headed back to Space Center Houston shortly. Please exit only on the left-hand side.
Come on, guys.
And we're coming back.